Good evening, everyone. So, this is the video for week 2. So, we would be discussing about typologies and patterns of crime. So, what are the types of crime and how are crimes related to each other? And we would also be discussing about how media plays a role in framing crime. So, moving on forward, we have an overview for this. So, if we think critically about patterns of crime, we must acknowledge that there are various types of classifying crime into different types. So, we should always remember that crime is a socially constructed term, and the definitions of what is crime and the law for the crime change with time. And we should also acknowledge that there is a consensus about the definition and response to many but not all the crimes. Moving on forward, we would also be knowing that what is typology. So a typology is basically a term that is used to classify or organize anything. In this scenario, we would consider crime to differentiate crime and organize crimes into different categories. Moving on forward, so the UCR uses different types of classification for crime. The first one is violent, then second is primary, then other crime, then traffic offenses, federal drug offenses, and other law violation. So the very basic and very potential distinction between different types of crime is victim crime, victimful crime, and victimless crime. And the other one is street crime or blue collar crime versus suit crime or white collar crimes. So let's know about the distinction between. First, let's dig deep into what is victimful crime and what is victimless crime. So victimful crime is a crime that includes a victim who is vandalized or injured in the happening of the crime. Let's say someone is being stabbed. So stabbing someone or killing someone is a crime, and in this scenario, the person who is being stabbed is the victim. So it's a victimful crime. And if we consider victimless crime, a victimless crime is a crime that considers no injury or harm to a person physically. Let's say there happens a robbery in a bank, and the bank has been robbed for, let's say, $1 million. But in this scenario, there is no one who is being hurt or no one who is being injured in the activities that is happening. And moving forward, about street crime or blue collar crime is a small scale crime that affects a very low number of people and which has happened in front of people, in front of a lot of witnesses, where instead of white collar crimes or suit crimes that are performed by the people who are on a very high authority or who have a very high social connection, that the crime is noticed, but we do not have a lot of or none witnesses for their crime. Moving forward, we have violent crimes, as I described about that for. So, what is a violent crime? Let's say violent crime is a crime that includes harming someone or killing someone, that too. Let's consider homicide. Homicide is a very highly reported crime that is also considered in dark figure crimes. So homicide is killing mass of people, a lot of people, whereas murder considers only one person being killed at one time. And there are different levels of murder as well: first degree, second degree, and manslaughter. Also, a violent crime another example of a violent crime is a sexual assault. The definition of rape is considered as a person of a gender, let's say male or female, having intimacy or intercourse with a person without their permission. So it is like non-consensual sexual activity that is performed by a person that is known as sexual crime. So it is also considered in violent crimes. Next is an assault. Assault is trying to, let's say, harm someone or hit someone, or like trying to kill someone, or performing beating on someone ruthlessly. That is known as an assault. Robbery could also be considered a violent crime, but it depends on what degree are you trying to perform your crime. So let's say if you use force or violence, including threats, or during the commission of a theft you use weapons or try to hit someone, or let's say you break their head, so that is considered to be a violent crime. Non-violent crime is break and enter. Let's say someone is robbing a shop, so they break into the shop, they break all the stuff, they break the windows, they break the doors, and they take all the stuff away. So in this, no one is being hurt, no one is being killed or hurt or injured by any chance, so that is considered to be a non-violent crime as theft. Next is we have crimes of mortality and public order. Prostitution. Prostitution is considered to be a crime for a very, very long time now. So what is prostitution? People do pay for engaging into intercourse with other people. Sometimes this leads to a degree where the person who is being paid to is not actually consented or being asked about the activities just because of their personal matters. Next is drug use. So what happens with drug use is when people who take drugs gets intoxicated and they try to perform different acts of hurting or trying to hurt someone, or let's say theft, because their nervous system is totally messed up with the drug usage. And there's also is organized crime. So organized crime considers a proper planning of it considers like a number of people, let's say 2 or 3, and a crime that is being planned for a very long time or a short period of time, that is considered to be an organized crime. Terror attacks can also be considered an organized crime because they are planned on a certain amount of degree to hurt a lot of people, and there is a lot of back planning behind that attack. And crime patterns also changes over time. Crimes often occurs in cycles. So factors that has been found to impact crime cycles or employment opportunities, political or social unrest, technological innovation, homes being left unattended, gun control laws, access to abortion, policies around lead in our environment, COVID-19 as well. So, just to conclude all of this, crime is a socially constructed term. We should always remember that what is considered to be crime is always changing with time, and where there may be consensus about certain crimes like homicide, there's less agreement around mortality based crimes such as drug use and prostitution. Thank you very much.